Hello, everybody. Welcome to Entertainment Business with Salas. This is where I talk about everything entertainment, everything newsworthy, everything both from society, not necessarily celebrity conversation, but just everything that may seem entertaining to the public. Today, what I'm talking about is something you people will have seen already. There's no way you can say, except you're living under the rock. That's when you can say, you know what this gist is about. It's about Davido and a certain Anu Oluwapo or Anu Adeleke. I don't know, many years ago, I think it was 10 years ago, I cannot remember, over 10 years ago actually, when, I think it was still around that same time when, what's her name, Sophie, maybe before or after, no, it has to be before, or maybe during the same time, I'm not very sure, where Sophia Mamadou, that's, and Imade's mom, when she was pregnant, or maybe when she had, some, or just around that same time where we had those issues of, conversations of David having another baby mama or having another child by someone else. Now, that gist at the time fizzled out real quick. We just didn't hear anything. I think so. But coming back to right now, I think that maybe that issue was handled then, low key outside social media, and we just didn't hear anything about it again until just recently. Now, Anu and her mom have come up to call out Davido. In fact, Anu sort of DM Davido asking for a DNA test between the two of them. Like both of them should go for a DNA test. And David had told her that they have done this DNA test before, that they've done up to 5. That in fact, her mom chose 2 places, and maybe from their own side was also 3 places. That they had done this test back and forth before. I think it's 2014. And had done the test. Bottom line saying that he is not the father of Anu, and this girl who's 14, 12? Not sure. Maybe 14, I don't know. But you can check. Really, I always say that, look, I'm not here to tell you give you the news. I'm just here to analyze the news. So whatever gist is, you can see that it's just everyone's song that you can't miss it. So, what's my take? I'm saying that right now I know that it's crazy. David has been able to arrange his life as best as he can, and we know that he's married to Choma. We also know that he has a good relationship, and he sort of has focused his energy on his family. We know that he has acknowledged Imade as his daughter. There's also another one, I think in the UK or so. But bottom line is that David has arranged his life. He has a great career. He's done well for himself. He's unarguably, nobody's arguing that he's one of the greatest artists from Africa, and he's doing very well for himself. But now this has now crawled up again. I feel like David may have thought that he has finished dealing with this Anu Adeleke issue. Look, you hear me? Anu Adeleke, they went as far as ahead to name the child Adeleke, and maybe Anu Oluwapo or Anu Oluwa Adeleke. In fact, in the handle that had that conversation with Davido, the handle is Anu Adeleke 001. This is them taking the position to say, look, I am an Adeleke and I am 001, probably the first and senior to every other child that Davido may have had. Now, people are also likening this situation now that it may be another case of the Helen girl in Kenya and Pascal, aka Obana Chief Priest. Anyway, that's by the way. Straight to the point, I feel like David is not, you cannot force him, he doesn't need to, you cannot compel, you cannot in any way coerce him to show up for a DNA test. But I feel like an easy way out of this whole distraction may just be to invite this young girl, maybe with her mom, because I always say that, look, the same energy or the same stress that you use to use police to go and arrest them in Badon and all those things, come and answer, whatever. You can also apply that same simple, because we cannot outrule the fact that David is a nice guy. David has over time shown people, even effortlessly, that he's a good guy. He has changed so many lives. He has touched so many lives, and he has done these things effortlessly. So I feel like in this situation, I can understand how pissed he might be, because these guys are also claiming, it's not on him directly. They are claiming that his former lawyer, Boba Judwa, influenced the or manipulated the previous tests that they did. Now, a lot of things are not really clear in the back and forth on the banter of this particular issue. David said that he has done 5 DNA tests about, as far as this girl is concerned. There's also the part where he was saying that the 2 out of the 5 places that they went for this test were picked by the girl. That's the Anu's mom. And he picked 3, and 3 of them or 5 of them showed that he wasn't the father of the baby. I can also see that there's like a test result that is out here, in public, that also says that David is not the father of Anu. But right now, the girl is asking for a DNA test. That both of them should go for a DNA test to show that he is truly not her father. And I'm saying that you cannot force David to or subject him to come for a DNA test, actually. But I feel like as that's come to this point, with the way, not necessarily because of what people are saying here and there. I maintain that you cannot force David. It's not because of your opinion, not because of what you think or whatever. You cannot force him to go and do another DNA test, especially if he's telling you that he has done this test up to 5 times. But I just still feel like, to save us the situation, because we don't know, it's not about how far they're going to take this to. It's not like you cannot force this guy to come and do another DNA test. However, I feel like to just sort of curb this distraction or these people talking here and there, David can just go ahead and invite the girl and her mom, whatever. It's not going to cost him anything. Let them go for another test. They do another test. Maybe indulge the third party, to sort of mediate or to stand in between. And after which, they will announce that David is truly not the father of Anu. Now, I know that's part of the conversation. I'm reading the things that they put out there. That there's a part where maybe Anu's mom was accused of being a prostitute or whatever, and then she also debunking, saying that she was never a prostitute. Instead, she was an attendant or a salesperson in a bar or club. So that she's from a responsible home and not that kind of person. Now, what's also very, very clear as far as the situation is concerned, that David was very young, because if you're counting 10 years back or more, you agree that David was way young. I mean, how old is David right now? So you can imagine what somebody who is just in his early 20s may have indulged in, and which right now, of course, is now coming back to hound or hunting. And not just him, but the other party, because you two are also responsible for what's your action. They were both, at least to an extent, adults who consented and probably this stuff that now resulted to having this child that we're looking at here. And you can also understand how, when you are that young and then somebody's coming out to say, "Oh, I'm pregnant," and then somebody whose career is just even taking a lift off, that can be very distracting. And if they are debunked at that point in time, and if there was any foul play, I mean, I just don't know. I really don't know. Because they said in 2014 they probably had another test or another DNA, tests. Maybe the last one, which David is still saying that, insisting that result that was done, and then the result still showed that he didn't have anything. He wasn't the father of this child. Forget about the part where he's mad and saying stuff and maybe cursing out and everything. No, I don't think I hold him so much on that. Like I said, somebody who has, sorted out his life, balanced himself in a certain way, both family and the outside, children, being mamas here and there. He has been able to manage all of these things, and is trying to focus on his life. Not that David also has lost a child, and also just trying to balance himself. Now, boom, you're coming out and you say, "You are my father. I'll come for a DNA test." All these things. So this can be very, very. It can piss you off. Then let's not lie. This can also piss you off. But away from that, I feel like it may just be a lot easier to sweep off this distraction by going ahead and doing the test, because I know that if David sees that he's the father of this child, he's going to take responsibility even for the lost times. He just do what he needs to do. It's not about the girl's mother. We'll just find a way to balance and just ensure that everybody gets what they need to get, as far as his bloodline is concerned. So it's unfortunate, this whole call out thing. I'm sure that David will not be happy about this thing, but it's just what it is. Let's focus on what's important than just people trolling here and there. I've seen a lot of comments here and there. I even see that Dr. Kemi she's heavy on this conversation. She's carrying on her head as if, but respectfully, I just feel like the conversation should be channeled the right way. Not like they'll now just be trolling the guy and be talking a lot of shit about him. This guy has done well for himself, done well for Africa. He's one of the biggest artists, like you can't even argue it. And he has not in any way You can't pin so much on him. David has done a lot of charity works, has helped a lot of people, has changed a lot of lives. You need to give him that respect. But I just feel like he should think about it. Just have it back up. Just try and make himself allow, invite the people, do a DNA again to show that truly I am not responsible. And then if the DNA shows that he is, then just all he has to do is, of course, he knows what to do. I'm not the one to say, but is what it is. What do you think about the situation on ground right now? What's your opinion? What do you think? I'd like to read your comments. Respectfully, I don't want anybody throwing words here and there. Let's just be respectful to our comments. And yeah, it would be nice to hear what you have to say. Thank you for watching. If you watch this point, hey, you're the real MVP. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.